Good morning. Like my high-tech videos? I, I'm feeling it's time for a hippie revolution. Not only are we graduating with these energies coming in, it's time also to realize several things on a quantum level that I'd like to address. So, if you don't mind, coming from our heart space, realizing that there's a creation code within us, our DNA. We're co-creators. Discovering our creation code. Like this plant. There's so much beauty in this plant that's created. There's organic herbs that are healing. My mom was a barber, so I do want to mention it's good to trim these. A Chinese saying, sweet Chinese lady taught me that it's a Chinese tradition, they believe, to trim off the old plants because they're bad luck. The dead plants are bad luck. The ones that have the life force. And, you know, everyone needs a haircut. My mom being a barber for years. And these are great scissors, Cutco scissors. They cut through just about anything. It's good too. You know, when you have a mom, everyone has a mom, you know, we're taught to cut that ASS and be more loving, right? And when we trim off the old and make room for the new to grow, it also helps the plant to grow. You know, like the energy too. That's why we rest when we're sick, because our energy, we have to, instead of dividing it, we are allowing more potential of that energy power to use for our white blood cells to heal, right? And everything else that works together as a team in our body to heal. And you know, it's really cool to see these plants underneath I'm probably chopping up that word, Kirkorian photography? Kirkin photography? It's a name, it's his name. Who invented it can photograph the energies coming off of that plant, people. It's also good to turn them too. See, like this was facing the sun, so that's how we get our plants fuller, is by when we turn them around and they reach for the sun, these will start reaching towards the sun, they'll get more fuller. So there's like a gap right there. So I'm gonna turn this to be facing the sun, and it will grow fuller in that direction. Is how that works. All these little plants, these tips are off because I nibble on it when I'm out here on my temporary patio. I've been waiting for my daughter to graduate from college, and she's graduated and she's got her job. So now I'm planning for my new phase in life. Move to a place that's has no mandates. And yeah, I got yelled at the other day at the DMV in California, Orange County, California. And you know, I had to pray. How am I gonna handle this, you know? Well, actually, the Lord puts us in spots for a reason. There's no coincidences, really, if we look at it on a quantum level, intuitive level, that there's a reason for everything. It's a golden opportunity for me. They just opened the door for me to give them some information. And that's why I want to speak with our codes of creation, because we're creating our world. We're interdimensional. I know this sounds crazy. If you haven't been in this school of information that has been coming to us for years, ancient texts, channelings, readings, psychics, mediums, intuitives, whatever you want to call them, benevolent beings, angels, guides, that we have guides with us that I learned the hard way to listen to, like, I would say about 30 years ago. Ever since I was a kid, really, I learned that I could, well, I just noticed by my intuitive abilities, we all have them. For instance, relaxing helps, and that's what's healing. You know, when we learn to relax, we give our energy time to heal, you know, and go towards, where it needs to be. Meditation, prayer. Listening to our guides. Okay, well, I'll back up a little bit in my history. When I was a kid, I would relax and listen to my teachers read their stories. And my eyes would relax like a magic eye poster. And you can practice with books like that. And I would notice their auras, and I would start to come out of myself and see more of them. And that's really what it's all about, you know. And I think when my mom was teaching me, you know, to cut my attitude, and I see it as a metaphor, cutting the mask, and smile at each other, raising the vibrations, and not only coming out of our attitudes and issues and getting into stepping to God's vibration of benevolence, then our attention flowing there will bring in that energy. And of course, our guides say, you know, we, like my spirit guide, Eric Medhus, give his mom credit from channeling Eric. One of my guides, he says, we take all the credit. They're constantly downloading us all the time. And like the Bible says, angels are with us when we're born, thousands of angels. And it's nothing to be afraid of, because we're born benevolent, we're born innocent, and we just have to remember that and stay in the connection with God. The silver cord, it's the matrix that's tricking us, the fake AI, the fake everything that we're in a school. There's people that are going to try and trick us and tempt us, but we're taking a test, and we're here, and we have you can't have all the answers in front of you when you take the test. You have to depend on what you know, what's in your heart, in your soul. You took the time to learn, and it's there, you know it. So kind of the same thing. And also when I was in my 20s, I really felt like within me, my gut being pulled, do not go out, like about 20 times. And the peer pressure of my friends, being young, living in Hollywood, wanting to go out, and there's some rock stars, they want to come party with us and go, dancing. And Okay, so I thought, whoa, fun. Even though my gut was uh, telling me, making me feel, me feeling, how do I say that? Making me feel. I felt in my gut, and knowing the difference of knowing my feelings, my emotions, which is important being human, that was telling me to listen to my feelings. Did I? No. So I got into a car accident. It was like 5 or 6 cars. Nobody got hurt, thank God. I think, it was like we're at a red light and someone didn't hit their brakes and they were like 6 or 7 cars behind, and boom, 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 like dominoes. I'll never forget it. Or parking spaces. I get that feeling. I should move it. And I'm too lazy. Now I'll be fine. I get back and there's a ding there and I'm like, I should have known, right? Okay, so those are the feelings we need to pay attention to. Now, back to the moving forward in my DMV experience. But it wasn't really my experience, because on a quantum level, this is a synchronicity door opening for me to show that I've graduated from sheeple to shepherd. And I'm not putting down sheeple. I'm saying that I'm a sheeple. I'm learning my amnesia. I'm learning to ask the questions, and why this, why that, with a childlike mind, like we're supposed to learn from, right? And the thing is that the questions ask and you shall receive the answers. We need to become a master of our questions that we ask each other, the questions that we ask ourselves, and getting the answers that, whether we like it or not, like I wanted to go out dancing with my friends and the rock stars. That's my ego. Ooh, fun, yay. And that's what we're here to do, is have fun, right? Yet sometimes we just have to be smarter and use our wisdom. We're becoming masters of our wisdom in maturity. In space maturity, not immaturity. INNMATURITY, which is the low vibes, competition. No, we need community, unity, immunity. We need to be a collective, okay? Because we're stronger in strength in numbers. And the illusion of being separate too. So like I said, I'm a quantum thinker and I hope you can follow me. If not, I'd be happy to explain in the questions, just state. I just ask that be careful of judgments, and I'm not saying that I've had other channels being accused of Freemasonry, which is like knowing what I know all the way back from Albert Pike and David Icke Israel. No, I have nothing to do with that. God forbid. And then again, I know there's people who aren't bad, who are in it. Just like earthlings, not all earthlings are bad. We are doing our best here, trying to help each other. And that's how I looked at it at the DMV. Okay, am I gonna react and use my ego and take offense to getting yelled at for not wearing a mask? Or am I gonna use this as a golden opportunity as a graduate in this 3D, or what was, it's exiting 3D. My choice to exit, our choice. And I decided to exit on that dimension and raise my vibrations into letting them know that, hey, it's not a law. It's not all the, I didn't go into details about how it's a gematria scripted control. And I just basically said, learn your history, please. Learn your history. World War II. I know you're doing your job. So did the, starts with the N, ends with the I. And here. So that's what they did, because we have to think about what we are doing. And I know they're doing their job and they got to put bread and butter on the table. And, a lot of people are scared. Change can be scary. It's saying a prayer can also, and asking our angels to be with them and comfort them and comfort their angels. And when I did yell back because they were yelling at me from across the room for them to hear me. And hey, I'm a veteran, so I can be loud and proud with love and light and asking for God's guidance to use me as a vessel to reach them. And hey, and so on and so on and so on, right? So a gentle wake up, a gentle hug, and although I could feel their frustration, I could feel their anxiety, I could feel they're scared, I could feel they're like annoyed. I mean, they work for the DMV. This is a government facility or, okay. Well, I didn't have my vet hat on yet, my license plates. So I think they kind of backed off when they knew that I understand. I look younger than I am. So sometimes people get the wrong idea about my age. And not only that, I'm an old soul. So when I prayed and asked for help and guidance, and I do this fast, I'm like, the more, I'm just like, okay, angels, I need your help right now. I need everyone. Surround this situation. Grab, that's how fast I think and feel. And my feelings were first compassion and empathy. And my golden opportunity was for all the people sitting there 6 feet apart with their masks on. Okay, I know I've seen those rituals where they're spaced like that because we have an 8-meter Merkaba outside of us we can't see. And we have control over that. That's another mastery we need to learn. And you can do that with dowsing rods, those copper dowsing rods. You can do an experiment and think of something big and back up and watch it split, where the end of that thought is. Or you can think of something small and then have someone walk closer to you with their copper dowsing rods and see where it opens. And it's showing where you're the control over your thoughts and your Merkaba. So that's your spiritual ability that we're born with. And our DNA is so precious. A lot of this is from our DNA. All our guides are from our DNA. Our family fractals, our Kosh, our DNA is so valuable. That's a lot to look into, and it's so precious. It really, really is. And the book of Genesis goes into the creation of God. and our creation code within our DNA. And as co-creators, as children of God, it's our responsibility with compassion to keep this in mind and in our hearts and ground this into Mother Earth, because this is our duty on this earth to be these antennas for God and raise the vibrations of this beautiful Mother Earth who brings us life. It's the least we could do for her. She feeds us. She gives us Hawaii. She gives us the beach. She gives us the horses. She gives us the mountains, the running water, the butterflies, the bees, the trees, the leaves, solar panels, Christmas trees, snowmen. You know, it's endless. And yes, pictures can send vibrations through too. If you can't be there physically, you can also look at beautiful pictures, and that sends off an energy too. Like even like the colors. Here's some wheatgrass. Hello, wheatgrass. You should look up Dr. Emoto. He really goes into the how our vibrations affect plants. And you know, look at this beautiful guy right here. God created this beautiful puggy. And he's just a sweet puggy bear. This is Buddy. And our children and our babies, there's so much that God and Mother Earth and life gives to us. So it's like, that, I guess it's a quantum leap that hits me before I want to open my mouth. And saw this as a time to let them know that, hey, you know, you can raise your vibrations too by doing your own research, looking up what is in those, you know, things that they are lying to us about to put in our bodies. And that's what I was kind of shouting out, enough to stir the pot, to get them to be curious, hopefully curious enough to look it up, you know, look it up. And it's very important that we, like others have helped us, we've been fortunate enough to have others help us, tell us this or that. I feel like it's our duty to do the same. Our love doesn't stop in our homes. We need to smile at people who, and if they're wearing a mask, smile at them more. I'm gonna find some beautiful fuchsia lipstick, and I'm just gonna wear it, because I noticed this young girl, we have shows down here. It's really cute. The kids come, they do a little nutcracker and things like that. And some of them had to wear masks, and then one girl didn't, and she wore this pretty red lipstick to be in the Christmas spirit. And I complimented her on that. And you know, it made me realize, women, put on some beautiful lipstick. Remind other women, stop hiding behind those masks. You know, get rid of the control. Plus there's chemicals on those things too. You know, there's a lot to think about. Like, I just realized aluminum. And Michael Jaco also mentioned, don't cook your food in aluminum. Hello, aluminum. You know, as a hypnotherapist, I understand that in our subconscious is on a pilot. It's like a pilot, co-pilot, sorry. And our co-pilot is like, you know, creature of habit, does the same thing while we think. Distractions. And you know, the corporations, know this. They've spent billions of dollars studying this. And they, the goal is whatever their goals are that they're doing, obviously, without me going into. And we want to radiate from within our God-given soul, our God-given life, and creativity, and health, and happiness, and everything positive, and help others. That's another way of helping this crystalline blueprint. Put in your car bottles of water, blankets. That's what I'm doing today. I need to go through there. I have tons of blankets. After, I have all these blankets that I need to go through because I'm going to put them in my car and I'm going to hand them out to. And I have clothes. I've been going through my clothes. Look at this. My babysitter taught me when I was in 7th grade. Or not 7th grade, when I was like 7 years old. And Aunt Jane, I love her. I'll never forget her. I know she's with me in my heart, in my DNA. And that's why I've been finding a lot of inspiration doing these projects. And then I made this for my son when he, like 25 years ago, for a changing pad and dressing up. So anyways, squirrel. Giving this all these golden opportunities. We're going into the golden era, right? We're going into the golden age. Well, these are golden opportunities to share. Put some granola bars in your car, maybe a hot meal, and if you see someone walking the streets, share that with them. There's angels. The Bible even says there's angels in disguise. A homeless person, and you never know unless you tap into their vibration. And that's another thing I want to tell you about, like empaths. You need to close down your vibrations. Your raise your vibrations within you, but going out on the street, you need to ground yourself, or else you'll be taking everyone's energies in, and it's just going to be too much. So a cleanse is very important. Even a bath, Epsom salt, smudging, clearing the energy really, really does work. And setting your intentions. So when hitting the street, you need to, or the beat, as the police say, or the field in the military, ground your energies, and then get out there, pack your car with some clothes, some socks, hats, extra bags, whatever. Maybe a teddy bear or something to kind of lift their spirits. We are putting this into our crystalline grid. We are adding this. This is how we are raising the vibrations on a global level, which reaches out to our galactic level. Because yes, indeed, it's all connected to Source, our Heavenly Father, within and without. Does that make sense? Within our hearts, without our ego, all reaching out into the universe that is all connected, because we are all one. All this separation is an illusion. That's another video. So yeah, it's important to remember that when I wake up every morning with my cup of coffee and downloads start pouring in, and us communicating with each other is so important. How we go about this, because we want to raise the vibrations. We want to send out positivity. We want to send out optimism. And sometimes I may be bold or in your face, but hey, it's okay, because if someone tells me that, I'm not going to cringe, because I love you, and unconditional love is unconditional love without judgment. And if somebody's going to judge me, it's like how they, in a way, I'm kind of like teaching them how to process when somebody I notice, wants to say, hey, you're like so bold and in your face, you know, like a friend from like 7th grade I've known for years and years and years. And I realized that on a quantum level, deeper level, after praying about it, it didn't bother me at all. I was like, what does she mean by that? Okay. Well, it came to me that she's been having issues with her friends doing that to her. And her coming to me was kind of like her indirect way of saying, this is what I'm dealing with. How do you handle it? Show me your example. Lead by example. This is leadership, okay? Like a mother, like a leader. Like we're supposed to be, walk the talk, okay? And I showed her, you know, hey, I stand firm in facts. I stand firm in love. I stand firm in what is real. And I stand firm in how I love you. And this is not going to rattle my cage, because it's okay. And it's not going to upset me. We all have our ways of processing, of course. You know, hey, I'm so sorry for really, you know, when there's a loss or a grief. And at the same time, this is our spiritual, personal path that we need to meditate and pray on, and take that alone time. Walk, hike, connect with nature. This is the value of Mother Earth and nature and our oneness with life, because it's a powerful force, and yet gentle. And sharing how we cope with a lot of these changes that we're dealing with today is, sometimes people cry for help. They don't know how to ask. So they will act it out. Like, you know, children do that. Or dogs, you know, that have been hurt, or pets, they don't use their words. And that's why animals are such a great example. Not only are they just pure unconditional love, and they're higher vibrational and in a higher dimension than us. That's why that they love us more than they love themselves. So picking up on those subtle reasons, why they're acting the way they are, is a question, is wondering, how do I deal with this? It's, you know, upsetting. Now, calming ourselves and being still with God, the oneness. I see all of us as antennas grounding this energy from God, our benevolent Father, our Creator. I ground myself in, I close my eyes and visualize myself like a tree, and I'll root myself in Mother Earth. And if we can do this barefoot, great. You know, I'm in this concrete jungle right now temporarily, because I made a commitment to help my daughter through college, and she's graduated and working now. So my next chapter of my life will be starting, and it won't be a concrete jungle. Trust me, I'm going to be in nature. So we have to have patience. That's what I'm dealing with right now. Patience. And it's given me time to also go through my clothes, go through my blankets, go through my stuff, and donate to others who need it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So yeah, and it's nice to see them smile. when you do something nice like that. So humanitarianism is changing our grid. It makes us feel good, it makes them feel good, and we're helping each other because whether we like it or not, we're all brothers and sisters, okay? We all got one creator, and the galactics understand this, the angels understand this, we are learning this. Hopefully everyone understands this really soon. We're going through a graduation, we're going through a dimensional portal on the winter solstice, okay? So keep your mind and your vibrations grounded in your heart, grounded to Mother Earth. And as a tree, I focus sources, just God's, it's intense. Like a fireman's hose, when you pull that handle back and there's a blast of water, that's the amount of power, of light, of energy, of love, of compassion, of everything in the package that God wants to put in there. I'm God's soup pot. Whatever you want in there, God. I am yours. I obey. You're the master. Okay? And that is how God funnels through me to Mother Earth like a straw down into Mother Earth. And my guide, Eric Madhus, says when you give it to Mother Earth, she'll blast it to everyone and everything on Earth, all life. You know, we are infinite, okay? We live eternal. That's why we need to get out of that 3D thinking, because having a big house, having a car that'll break, 5 years, what are they good for? See all that stuff in the store, it's temporary. You can't take it with you when you cross over. And even in the 3D, it's still what a car lasts 5 years, or if you can make it last longer, good for you. Still, they're not eternal. It's a tool, it's a thing to be used. And us souls, us eternal souls, are to be loved and to be cherished and to help each other grow like a baby. When you have a baby, hopefully, parents that have empathy and a heart and compassion loves that baby. It's the same way. And that's so valuable. That never leaves you. When you die, it is still there. Like Ghost. Have you seen the movie Ghost? And he says there's a lot of truth in that story, that the love is eternal. And when we cross over, we have like the souls that are still learning, they will have to learn. They have lessons on the other side, and whatever's assigned to them by their angels and guides, they've got to still advance. And when they do that, then they can get closer to God. And that's what I want. I don't see why other people haven't yet. And I have compassion for, there's children that just never been handed that on a silver platter. A lot of people have been given that on a silver platter. They've had wonderful parents, they've had wonderful teachers, they've had wonderful whatever their path was, their walk of life. And it's our responsibility to also help. Just because on a 3D level we're not related or know each other for a long time doesn't mean that I can't say a kind word or give a little treasure or a little gold nugget of value to a stranger, you know, that is our benevolence that we need to raise the vibrations with, and help each other get unstuck, help each other. You know, sometimes I'm human, I need a hug, and not just like a physical hug. I'll need like, hey, you know, just how are you, or a listen. So, you know, little things like that just means so much. So I wanted to mention that I've been hearing from other empaths that by 2027 all of us will be psychic and telepathic. And has anyone noticed more synchronicities? The angelic realm does have the ability to change license plates numbers, to give us a message, to do all kinds of things in this holographic simulation, 3D. And we also have a choice that people are having right now, a soul choice: a 3D planet or 5D planet. Okay. And I think I kind of explained that difference and living in it. It's pretty clear. Right now, we can see outside of our window that there is a metamorphosis going on. There is a creation code going on, and we need to be cognizant of this creation code, because we are creators, we're co-creators, and it's very, very important to be awake and aware of our words that we say and everything we do, because this is leaving a grid. This is our timeline, and we want the best timeline. And we also need to stand our authority from God, and say we do not consent to tyranny, because we are changing for the better. Now, as creators of this new earth in 5D, the ancient test, the Mayans talked about the Pisces moving into Aquarius in knowingness. And we know in our own maturity and our own wisdom, from all of the knowledge that we've gained and lessons that we've learned, and notes, and there's truthers out there looking for, I don't know, I'll read like 4 and 5, or see 4 and 5 to 10, you know. Compare and contrast is very important, instead of just what's on the gematria scripted hypnosis box, I call it. And we're seeing instant manifestations happen. I don't know if you've noticed that, but we're having more instant manifestations. So it's speeding up in the higher frequencies. And we also need to be aware of love, unity, community, immunity, and that love is where we need to ground ourselves in. Love and life. Fear is separation and lies. We do not want that. We do not consent to that. So our golden opportunity is to make the life and the earth that we desire. Be humanitarian. Be the community. Be the change you want to see, because the empowerment is in our hearts and in our DNA. We have an Akashic records in our DNA. We have the Merkaba 5 meters outside of us. We have our aura that comes from our DNA. Ego blinds, like I, mine, competition, jealousy. Okay, we're human beings, we experience that. I'm going through a divorce, and hey, you know, yeah, it's a process. And then getting unstuck, the 7 stages of grief. I accept it, and I bless him for it, and I want him to heal, and I feel like I've healed. And no matter what the issue is of a blow we need to heal, it's still a grieving process, and we can recover. So it's just the amount of time. How fast can you recover? And time is of the essence. I hear people say addiction. Okay, we're all not addicts, because I see it as habits. We have habits. Habits that is in the subconscious. Yet when we wake up and we're conscious of it in hypnosis, we are reprogramming the subconscious, the co-pilot. Are we going to do something positive on autopilot? Or are we going to do something not so positive in our subconscious? Addiction, habits, whatever you want to call it. It's just a word. The feelings are what gives the inertia. And I see spirit in physics. Spirit is everything. So use your love, use your unity, use your pronouns. We, ours, us, love. I think ours sounds like heart. Peace and harmony. It's soul time for us to choose 3D, 5D, because the 4D wall of kindness is falling. And this is not only hearsay, I say. We have a ice wall in Antarctica that's falling, right? Having the healing time is rest, relaxation, peace, laughter, nature, grounding, alone time, barefoot on the grass, joyful time with your family. If you can't be with your friends and family, volunteer, do humanitarian. Babies, uplifting, something inspiring that opens up our hearts and makes us smile, lights up our lights. Be in our sunshine state of mind. Stay simple, eat organics, and if you can, be vegetarian. I'd appreciate that. So embrace the change. Make it the best change it can be. All right, blessings. Have a great day.